First tonight, there have been several police chases here in the Miami Valley within the last few months that have resulted in serious injuries or even deaths.
And that's why House Bill 56 was created, which will provide harsher penalties for those leading officers on these chases. Lydia Bice spoke to both representatives who created this bill, as well as local law enforcement agencies who will benefit from it. So, Lydia, why do they say there's such a need?
So the purpose of this bill is to keep roads like I-75 here behind me and the drivers on them safe. Yesterday in a press conference, Montgomery County Prosecutor Matt Heck Jr. mentioned 5 different instances across the Miami Valley in the last few months where someone has either been critically injured or killed after being an innocent bystander in one of these dangerous police chases. And now that's why our state representatives in Columbus are taking action.
We're having an increase in people getting hurt, even killed, and it's dangerous for the people just driving, the people that are actually chasing in the police pursuit.
If you run from the police, you put the citizens' lives at risk, you're going to prison. We have to stop this.
Now, you also spoke with Dayton police today as well. So do they say that this proposed legislation could perhaps help them even?
Yes, for sure. When I spoke to Lieutenant Colonel Eric Henderson with the Dayton Police Department today, he says that this proposed legislation would help them keep all of us drivers out on the roads in Dayton safe. He told me that they've had anywhere from 35 to 58 police chases over the years per year, and from 2021 to 2023, there were at least 350 failure to comply crimes in the city. Now head over to Fox 45 at 6:30, where you'll hear more from Prosecutor Matt Heck about why our county could use this legislation and when it could reach the governor's desk. Back to you.
Lydia, thanks. We've got a live look at our roadways now from our ODOT cameras. I-75 back open tonight after a semi crash closed 2 roads this morning in Harrison Township. All lanes southbound between Wise and Benchwood Road were closed. That crash damaging the sound barrier wall along the interstate. That then fell onto Keith Drive. Now, the semi that crashed was carrying diesel fuel, so hazmat was sent there. We're working to learn if there were any injuries out of this. This Huber Heights man sentenced today after stabbing his coworker to death at their job in Englewood. 38-year-old Lytus Jordan III stabbed 42-year-old Sean Monroe of Dayton to death in the restroom of Hematite Incorporated back in March 2023. Now, the investigation found Jordan got into an argument with Monroe earlier. Surveillance video showed the two went into the restroom. Only Jordan came out. Civil actions against companies that engage in it.
Our bill will simply say when you engage, when you shrink the price, when you shrink the size of the package, which companies are doing now, and charge the same or more, you're deceiving the public. When they essentially lie to the public or deceive the public purposely, the companies get fined and a significant amount of money, and those fines should go back to customers for rebates for the over price they paid, for the price higher than they paid.
Now, according to the Federal Reserve, from 2020 to 2022, corporate profits rose 75%. That's 5 times as fast as inflation. Well, we now know tonight $44 million, speaking of money, and federal funding is coming to the Miami Valley. Elise at the Now Desk, so where's the money coming from?
So, Adam, the money is actually coming from the federal government. Congressman Mike Turner secured those federal funds. That money will go to several different community projects, I should say, across the Miami Valley. So here's just a few of those projects you're looking at. $18 million will be going to Wright Pat Air Force Base to begin a new phase of construction on a new facility there. $4 million going to the city of Dayton to help restore the Wright brothers airplane factory. You might remember that, of course, was damaged in a fire last year. Another $4 million will go to the city of Dayton's water department to expand the water quality lab there, specifically looking for PFAS. $3.5 million will be going towards the renovation of electrical, plumbing, mechanical, lighting systems, and more for Five Rivers Metro Parks.
Former South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley made a surprise announcement in Charleston, South Carolina today. She's now suspending her presidential campaign. Alyssa Holmes was there and shares what Haley says is next.
Nikki Haley's announcement this morning was brief, getting right to the point, on stage for less than 10 minutes.
I am filled with the gratitude for the outpouring of support we've received from all across our great country. But the time has now come to suspend my campaign.
As people awaited the announcement, we were also waiting to hear if she would now endorse former President Trump. Her answer, he must prove himself to the American people.
But on this question, as she did on so many others, Margaret Thatcher provided some good advice when she said, quote, "Never just follow the crowd. Always make up your own mind." It is now up to Donald Trump to earn the votes of those in our party and beyond it who did not support him.
Trump swept the majority of the races on Super Tuesday, with Haley only clinching Vermont. Now that she's out of the race, Haley says that she plans to enjoy what's next. Haley also reassured her supporters that she would continue to support conservative values, aid for Ukraine, and the fight against socialism in America. In Charleston, Alyssa Holmes.
One local restaurant is now giving back to Miami Valley nonprofits, hoping to make a big impact. Kasha Hancock spoke to the manager of 5th Street Brew Pub today. So, Kasha, what do they have to say about this?
For the past 14 years, 5th Street Brew Pub has been doing what they need to do to help the community through their 5th Street Gives Back program, helping to build nonprofits. On select Thursdays, 5th Street invites any local nonprofit to partner with them, allowing them to receive 10% of the day's proceeds, along with 100% of all raffle proceeds. During the partnership, the nonprofits have the opportunity to tell the community about their organizations and how they serve the Miami Valley, getting them more recognition. General Manager at 5th Street, John Nagowski, says giving back to the community is part of the business's bylaws, and upholding this is important to them as a co-op business. As a member of the community, Nagowski says the impact this has on many lives is the reason he decided to work at 5th Street.
When people choose to come here to 5th Street, they can see a direct avenue to how we engage with the community. As far as to why we engage with the community, it's because we all live here. You know, the majority of our staff are within walking distance, or at least here within Dayton, Ohio, which means that they live here, they work here, you know, and we want to have our impact here.
Coming up at 6:30, hear about some more exciting events the restaurant has planned for the community and some of the nonprofits they've been able to help. Back to you.
Well, 4 people, including a nurse, now charged in the death of a patient at a mental health facility in Columbus. What an attorney says about the case and the new information we're learning about the cause of death.
Plus, I'm tracking another round of rain for the end of the week. How much more we're expecting, that's coming up. You're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
Weather Window, presented by the National Weather Desk.
Perfect timing. Look carefully on the right and you can see the exact moment lightning struck a tree yesterday in Little Rock. This double rainbow in Ohio may look like it touches the ground on both ends, but remember, rainbows are really complete circles. It's only an illusion they touch the ground. And check out this gorgeous roseate spoonbill caring for its egg near Myrtle Beach, South Carolina.
For more content like this, like the National Weather Desk on Facebook.
Tonight, we're learning more about the patient who died in the care of a mental health facility in Columbus. 4 people, including a nurse, now facing charges in connection with his death. Court records indicate the victim, a patient, was beaten to death. Carly Van Cleve has all the new information tonight.
Behind me is the facility where it all happened at. It's called Twin Valley Behavioral Health Care. Patient neglect, involuntary manslaughter, and murder are among the charges we're looking into tonight. This investigation dates back to July of 2022. Court records indicate the victim, 57-year-old Paul Fusick, was attacked and beaten by another patient, ID'd as Danny Macklin. The autopsy lays out the serious injuries. The coroner ruling Fusick died from a blow to the head. Macklin locked up for murder.
This was an event that took place quite a while ago.
3 others are also facing charges. Psychiatric assistants John Traylor and Augustine Norris, along with the nurse Julie Willoughby. The trio accused of patient neglect and involuntary manslaughter. Willoughby's attorney, Wesley Davis, says she plans to plead not guilty.
I believe that Miss Willoughby was following all of her training and the standards of care which were laid out when she was trained at the facility.
Davis says the court will need to review witness testimony and surveillance footage, as well as determining if those employees followed care standards.
Well, a soggy one yesterday and the day before, bringing some pretty significant rainfall totals. Taking a look at what we saw, Pleasant Hill getting almost 3 inches of rainfall there. Arcanum, 2.34 inches of rainfall. Kettering, 2 inches. Many places getting at least an inch of rain, and we have more rain that is on its way. You can see this system heading its way out. We'll have a quieter but still fairly cloudy day for tomorrow, but eventually our next weather maker will move in, bringing us another round of precipitation. So clouds breaking apart a bit tomorrow afternoon with temperatures in the 50s. Overall, cloudy to mostly cloudy, but heading into Friday, notice more rain building in, becoming widespread. Some heavier pockets of rain continuing into the day on Saturday. Colder air taking over and perhaps even a few snowflakes late into our Saturday as well.
Massive equipment officially on its way to Intel in Licking County. Now, the journey began down near the Ohio River this morning in Adams County and made a slow journey into Scioto County this afternoon. Kate Seifert shows us part of the route these extremely oversized loads take as they make their way to Licking County.
Our crew checking out part of the route that massive superload vehicles are going to be taking from Adams County up to Licking County, where Intel's massive $20 billion semiconductor facility is going to be. So here's a look at part of this route. We're in Franklin County right now. Those superloads expected to make their way here by Friday. And these superloads, they're massive. This first one that's coming through the area is 390,000 pounds. To give you some comparison, your typical fully loaded semi is just 80,000 pounds. These things are very long as well, 200 feet long. They're also 18 feet tall and 18 feet wide as well. So massive pieces of equipment are coming to the Central Ohio area in the next couple of days. Reporting in the Columbus area, I'm Kate Seifert.
What is National Reading Month, and our crews have been celebrating by heading to classrooms across the Miami Valley. So today, there's Lydia Bice down there. We're at Kemp Elementary reading to preschoolers this morning. She read, Panda Bear, what do you see? She said she had a blast. Each student received a copy of Caillou Dress Up with Daddy to take home as well. You can see all the smiles on the kids' faces.
And my head is made of blueberry pizza.
That's cute. Well, meteorologist Nick Maruziak read to students at Bishop Leibold School today. He read The Book with No Pictures, which is a great book, which was a hit with the kids along with a few others. Now, children who have access to books are more successful in school and beyond, and that is why we are partnering with Reading is Fundamental and our parent company, Sinclair Broadcast Group, for Sinclair Cares, supporting children's literacy virtual book drive. You can scan the QR code to get involved. That'll take you to our Sinclair Cares site where you can donate. Just $4 can put a new book into the hands of a child.
Well, another round of rain making its way in, a dry one for tomorrow, but by Friday, we're tracking periods of moderate to even some heavier pockets of rain for Friday into Saturday. I do think we'll have to monitor for some ponding out on the roads as the ground's already pretty saturated, and on top of what we've already seen, an additional inch or so of precipitation is to be expected. And as I mentioned, we could even see a couple snowflakes Saturday night into our early Sunday as colder air does begin to take over. And you'll see that here in our next several days. We get up to 60 on Friday, but back only into the mid 40s on Sunday. But the good news is we rebound pretty quickly. So I'll have a look at that 7-day coming up.
You're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
the Dayton 24/7 Now News app, brought to you by the Jeff Schmidt Auto Group.
Calling all movie lovers, the Oscars are this Sunday on ABC 22, and Nathan Edwards shows us how you can celebrate with other movie buffs this weekend in downtown Dayton.
If you're a movie lover, this is a great opportunity to come to one of Dayton's gems and enjoy the biggest night in cinema. Now, the event is free. Doors open up at 6. The event really kicks off at 7 o'clock here at the Neon Theater. Now, throughout the weekend, they're going to be showing some of the Oscar-nominated films. And then if you want to cast your own Oscar ballot, they do have printed ballots right in the lobby. So whether if it's Oppenheimer or Barbie or maybe Poor Things, you could say, yes, that's the movie I love this year. So come on down here. Should be a great event. Of course, the Neon is always a wonderful time. Again, this Sunday, the Oscars air on ABC 22, and the event here at the Neon is absolutely free and open to the public. Back to you guys.
Well, the rain has made its way off to the east, and for our Thursday, mainly just tracking cloud cover. Now, I do think we could see a few peaks of sunshine by tomorrow afternoon. Temperature-wise, a little warmer than today. We'll be back up into the 50s, and we actually have 60s on the way for Friday, but that also comes with some rain making its way back in too. So plan on soggy conditions Friday, Saturday. Not going to be the best of days. We spring forward, and then next week's looking a whole lot better. So we do rebound. So 40s on Sunday, but then by next week we got 60s and some sunshine that make their way back into the forecast. So it's going to be looking better by next week. We do have to get through just some cloudy, kind of gloomy and soggy days over these next several days before we have that sunshine that finally decides to return.
Oh, I miss it. I miss it so much.
I do miss the sunshine a lot.
Yeah. You know, I feel like we've been a little spoiled, and that's why these cloudy days are, not to remind you.
She reminds us every single time.
Gotta appreciate what you have.
Right.